Good morning, Mayor Joe Yoakum, Council President Tim Salters here. It's Saturday morning.
Yep.
And we're doing an additional day of information we're putting out. Unfortunate today we have to announce that we have had another death.
Yep.
We just need to keep the families of those individuals in our prayers.
Yeah. And I think it's one of those situations like, we talk about these numbers and we said it Thursday. Sometimes you kind of forget these aren't just numbers, these are members of our community.
Right.
These are families that are affected, and it makes it just a little bit more real in that situation. So we'll bounce back from this and we'll get this thing figured out, but we do send our thoughts, our prayers to the families of the lost loved ones this week.
Absolutely. And today here we sit at a total of 184 cases. It's up 13 today from yesterday.
Yeah, and the last time that we talked on Thursday, we were in the low 160s. So
right.
That is a little bit concerning. And if you've listened to Dr. Stewart, obviously there's some sign of a lot of community spread right now. So he's really, really emphasizing to hit the protocols, and we'll hit that here in a little bit, but we'll go over some of the other numbers as well right now.
Right now, our 7-day positivity is 11.2%, which is roughly 4% higher than the state average.
Yeah, and that's even up from Monday when we discussed it at our council meeting. Like we said, the 7-day positivity rate's a good thing to look at because that gives you the trend that you're seeing in the community during that time period. We started off last week into the weekend, we were going down.
Right.
And it was a very good spot to be. We went from 10 to 7, and now we've gone from 7 to 11. This is not a trend that we want to see continue. Basically what this means is you're seeing more positive tests than negative tests in that time period. Key thing is, and we'll hit those protocols, but we need to get that number down.
Absolutely.
So,
and the way to keep these numbers from going up is everybody doing their part.
Yeah.
You need to wear a mask. If you're inside a commercial structure or any structure, you need to wear a mask. If you're outside and there's more than a few people, you need to wear a mask.
Yeah, and the thing that we've talked about basically since March, social distance, wash your hands, kind of gather towards smaller groups and those kind of things. Those are things encouraged. We're not saying that you can't meet with other people and do those other things, but if you follow certain protocols, the mask in public spaces and public buildings, I do know the masks are frustrating. I'm one of those, I hate wearing a mask. I know, Mayor, you're not a big fan of masks either, but we are fans of making sure that people are safe and healthy, so you see us wearing these when we go into public buildings. If you are in a crowded spot outside, make sure that you've got a mask on. And I think that one of the key points that Governor Holcomb and Dr. Box hit on is sometimes we get in situations where we put our guard down.
Absolutely.
And we kind of forget about it, and we get maybe lackadaisical about certain things. This is something that we have to continually stay vigilant about, and if we do that, then we'll make it through this. Now, obviously, we've seen some numbers this week and some news this week that we didn't want to hear, and it's not a spot that we want to continue to be in. So the mayor and I kind of went through numbers today, and we'll post this in our video as well. It'll kind of scan where if you go to the state side, it'll show you basically a dashboard of our new positive cases, our 7-day positivity rate, new deaths, individual tests, total positive, your positivity rate total, and then it'll show your total deaths. If you scroll down, it'll also show you the county. And if you click on Knox County, then it gives you information specific to Knox County, which is very beneficial. One of the big ones that you can see is the positivity rate. And then it breaks it down into different color-coded sections. Knox County here is in the orange at 11.2. That's not a spot that we want to be in. All right, we want to be in the yellow or in the blue. Anything above 10, they mark as orange. Anything above 15, you mark as red. And the key thing to remember too in this area, there's a lot of regions in southern Indiana that are in that orange spot as well. If you do scroll down too, it also shows us kind of the demographic distributions. Obviously with school starting up, people are more curious about who's testing positive and how many tests we're doing. It actually shows you the percentage of people and the age range that are testing, which is very beneficial to see. Obviously, we're probably going to see some more younger ones that are going to be tested now with schools back in session. But you see a huge demographic of groups. It'll show you the positive cases that we've had and the percentage of groups that tested positive in that area. It'll also show you who's tested in that region as well. very beneficial tool. This is the one that the mayor and I use to kind of get the data from, and then we also use data from Dr. Stewart as well, and we kind of combine it together. Obviously, there's sometimes a little bit different information from the local level than the state level. A lot of that has to do is relay times to that or delays from the updates to the state. For example, we might have gotten an update from the state yesterday, and then new news comes and Dr. Stewart releases that from our health department, and then we have to update it on the fly as we go, which is fine. We want more information, and it's going to be like that as we go along. So those are the key things that we wanted to kind of hit on. But like the mayor has said, the key thing is those protocols that we have to follow.
Absolutely. Probably the biggest thing you can do now is wash your hands, keep your distance, and wear a mask.
Yeah.
It's very important. If you're out in a crowd or in a commercial building or any building, you should have a mask on.
Yeah. It's just the way that it's going to have to be for a little bit. And like we said, I mean, there are points, hey, if you want to go outside and you've got space where you can spread out, that's a great place to be.
Absolutely.
And, I've encouraged it. I know the mayor's encouraged it. I kind of switched the way that I've done things since March, where I try to make sure that I do more things outside because that's where I can kind of be without a mask and you can kind of do those things. But the key thing to remember is not to put our guard down. And that was kind of the key emphasis of what we heard from the governor's press conference coming through. We're going to make it through this. We're going to work hard to do that. But the mayor and I wanted to make sure that we went through the data today for you to give you as much information as we possibly could, because it's better to have more information than less and try to guess what's going on. We have told you through this, we'll have some highs and lows. This was a low week for us.
Absolutely.
This is not a week that we want to repeat. So we're going to keep encouraging, keep getting the information out there to make sure that we don't have a week like this again.
Absolutely.
So I think we've gone over the numbers we need, Mayor. Just remind people about the protocols.
Absolutely. Wash your hands, keep your distance, wear a mask if you're in crowds, or it's very important that we do all those.
Yes.
The only way that these numbers are going to come down and stay down is if we follow those and not let our guards down.
Yeah. So that's what we got for today.
Absolutely. So remember, if you can't keep your distance, make sure you wear a mask.
Yep. And we'll talk to you on Monday.